Hello everyone, Weather Jamaica here. Welcome to this updated video on weather across Jamaica and the rest of the Caribbean. It is Monday evening, January 22, 2024. Now before we jump into it, please ensure that you guys like the video, share it, subscribe and tap notification bell so that you'll be notified every time I post a brand new video. Feel free to leave a comment down in the comment section letting me know what weather has been like in your area recently. Also feel free to ask any weather related question that you might have about the future of weather in your specific area. Alright, so let us take a look at the surface map of the Atlantic for this evening. We can still see that we have those ridges of high pressure, one situated right here off the northwestern coast of Africa, and another right here off the east coast of the United States. And it's these ridges of high pressure that are responsible for sending all of those easterly trade winds across the main development region into the Caribbean. We can also see that we have a cold front right there, stretching all the way from the northern section of North Atlantic all the way down into portions of the Greater Antilles, including sections of Hispaniola, Haiti, the Dominican Republic, and right there to the north of Jamaica, to the south of Cuba, as well as into portions of the Cayman Islands. If we take a look at the visible satellite images of the Atlantic before the sun went down, we can see those low level patches of clouds still pushing from east to west, all courtesy of that easterly flow of trade winds brought about by that ridge or those ridges of high pressure. We can also see that we have the line of clouds right here associated with that cold front, bring a lot of cloudy and wet weather to sections of Haiti, the Dominican Republic, sections of the Turks and Caicos, the Bahamas, Cuba, sections of Jamaica today, as well as sections of the Cayman Islands and Central America. And we can still see that we have a lot of clouds associated with this weather system across the Gulf of Mexico and sections of the United States. We'll be talking more about the Caribbean's weather later on. Let us focus our attention on the prediction that was made in yesterday's video about the weather across Jamaica for today, Monday, January 22, 2024. It was stated that we would have received some amount of rainfall across sections of some northern parishes in Jamaica, especially during the morning, and then some of this rainfall could have spilled into sections of some southern and western parishes during the afternoon. And just for reference, we know when we're talking about northern parishes in Jamaica, we're talking about those parishes such as Hanover, St. James, Trelawney, St. Anne, St. Mary, Portland. Southern parishes, we're talking about St. Thomas, Kingston and St. Andrew, St. Catherine, Clarendon, Manchester, St. Elizabeth, and Westmoreland. And what ended up happening? As early as 7:55 a.m., a post was made right here on our Twitter page. Keep in mind that these posts aren't only made here on our Twitter page, but our Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok page. So if you have one of those social media platforms, please ensure that you follow us at Weather Jamaica, while on our Facebook it's Weather Jamaica 876, Instagram weather.jamaica. So we can see that we indeed had some amount of clouds coming in from the northeast, all associated with those low level winds from the northeast. We had all of that relief rainfall, especially across the northern portion of the island. And we even saw that some of these clouds spilled into sections of some southern parishes, bringing some isolated showers to sections of those territories. And we even have confirmation from some of our followers on our Twitter page, Minonu stating rain a fall, breeze a blow, and Simone stating heavy winds in Mobe. Then we had on our Instagram page Sure Spy stating raining in Stony Hill, Sapphire Willie Marsh stating very windy and raining in Mobe from early this morning. Even on our Facebook page we had some commenters confirming the rainfall in their area. Kiva Gray stating raining in Time and Patience, Shirley Mitchell Bullock stating raining in St. Andrew now, Kyle Sim raining on and off in St. Mary, and finally Jody Wool stating light rain in Kingston. So that indeed confirms the rainfall across northern Jamaica spilling into sections of some southern parishes. Then another post was made at 1:46 p.m. highlighting the very same. The clouds bring overcast skies and rainfall to sections of northern parishes. It was still persisting. Hanover, St. James, Trelawney, St. Anne, St. Mary, Portland. And we even had some of those clouds spilling into sections of Kingston, St. Andrews, St. Catherine, Clarendon, Manchester, St. Elizabeth, as well as sections of Westmoreland. And we even have Vernon Williams commenting on that afternoon post stating Brownstown is washing away. We know Brownstown is in St. Anne, if I'm not mistaken. And we even have Anne Marie 2640 stating non-stop raining in St. James from morning, and I'm so loving it. Even Roxy J 76 stating light showers in Trelawney. Even on our Facebook page, outside wet was raining. Winston Ebanks, squalls in Southfield, St. Elizabeth today, most welcome. Jules Denise stating cold. So with those northeast trade winds brought in the cool temperatures associated with the cold front. And if we take a look at See Jamaica's YouTube channel, we can indeed see that at around 8:59 a.m. we had some amount of rain affecting sections of the corporate area. We can see on the crossroads cam some rainfall when we look to the north, definitely affecting sections of the hills of St. Andrew. Cars with their windshield wipers on, people walking around with their umbrella. And keep in mind that if you'd like to see some more live streams like this on YouTube, you can follow See Jamaica. If you don't know by now, we have a partnership with that channel, and they also have live streams of the Kingston Harbor as well as halfway tree. If we take a look at the visible satellite images of Jamaica before the sun went down, we can indeed see where we had those clouds coming in from the northeast, then from the east-northeast, still bringing a lot of clouds to sections of some northern parishes as the sun was getting ready to go down. Then as we saw that we lost the sunlight, we still had some clouds across sections of some northern and western parishes, and we can see those clouds even better on the latest infrared satellite images. Clouds starting to come in more so from the east, but we still have some clouds bring some isolated showers to sections of some northern parishes as we speak. And if we take a look at the Caribbean Institute for Meteorology and Hydrology's accumulated precipitation for the past 24 hours, we can see that for the most part, even although we had some amount of isolated showers across sections of some southern parishes as indicated by those purples, we can see that majority of the rainfall was confined to sections of some northern parishes in Jamaica where we have more of those purples, blues and greens. If we take a look at the temperatures right now, we can see we have 26 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 28 degrees Celsius in Kingston, and by about 3 a.m. on Tuesday, the temperature should dip down to about 24 degrees Celsius in both Montego Bay and Kingston. As relates to the temperature forecast for tomorrow, we can see that this map from the GFS is showing 18Z on Tuesday. This is actually 1 p.m. on Tuesday, and we do see Jamaica right here embedded in some yellows and some oranges. That's representative of 1 to 2 to even 3 degrees Celsius above normal temperatures. And we know the normal temperatures for the month of January are about the same as 86.5 degrees Fahrenheit. When we take a look at the thermometer, 86.5 degrees Fahrenheit is about the same as 30 degrees Celsius. So with this map right here showing all of these oranges that represent up to 3 degrees Celsius above normal temperatures, it's expected that we should be receiving anywhere from 30 to 33 degrees Celsius at most. As it relates to the dry air map, although we had some amount of isolated showers across sections of the island today, we still have a lot of dry air across majority of the Caribbean, as represented by those yellows, oranges and reds, as we can see by the key on the bottom. The more intense the dry air gets as we go to the right, so the whites within those reds, at least we're not getting all of that. We see more of that across the waters to the northwest of Africa, and all of that is associated with some Sahara dust, and we can see the Sahara dust even better on the Sahara dust map right here. This map is valid for 2 p.m. on Tuesday, and we do see that Jamaica, that's right here to the south of Cuba, should be in the clear for that time, as most of the browns associated with the Sahara dust should be across the waters of the eastern main development region and Africa. As relates to the wave forecast for tomorrow, we do see more of those purples in the waters to the south and east of the island. I know the purples are representative of 2 to 3 meter wave heights, as we can see by the key on the bottom right, and that's because the winds are gonna be shifting tomorrow. So it's no longer any northeasterly flow to bring that orographic or relief rainfall to northern Jamaica. It's more so some winds coming in from the east, or more so from the east southeast, especially on the south coast. And we can see more so in the way of yellows, maybe some slight burgundy colors. Anywhere from 25 to 30 knots is what is being expected. And we see that both the Euro and the GFS models are in consensus with this. Either way, if we take a look at the precipitation forecast, this is why we're here, to find out where it's going to be raining. So we can see the blues that represent rainfall at 3 a.m. on both the Euro and the GFS for sections of some eastern parishes in Jamaica. So more so sections of mainly St. Thomas, sections of Portland, who knows, maybe spilling into sections of some southern parishes, maybe Clarendon, St. Catherine. Skipping ahead to about 4 hours later, that's at 7 a.m. We still see much of the same, more of those blues that represent rainfall across eastern Jamaica, especially across the waters to the north of the island. We see majority of the rainfall. And if we take a look finally at about 3 p.m., we start to see that most of this is dying down. Just some dots of blues that represent rainfall across eastern and western Jamaica on both the U and the GFS, while for the most part Jamaica is embedded in white, so we know that represents little to no rainfall at all. Either way, we can see that both the Euro and the GFS models are in consensus that the waters to the north of Jamaica will be receiving majority of the rainfall within the next 24 hours. Not to mention some northern and eastern parishes in Jamaica, especially eastern Jamaica. So definite sections of St. Thomas and Portland. As relates to the average rainfall, it's actually what's expected. It's the month of January. We usually receive 97.75 millimeters of rainfall during this month. So we'll take all the rainfall that we can get during this month before we head into the driest month of the year, which is February. We'll only receive 65.4 millimeters of rainfall. So that's it for the forecast across Jamaica. Let us focus our attention on the rest of the Caribbean. So we can see a lot of low-level clouds still coming into sections of the Leeward and Windward Islands, where they indeed had some amount of isolated showers today. Not to mention sections of Belize, Honduras, sections of Mexico, the Bahamas, Cuba. And if we take a look at the Doppler radar images of the northeastern Caribbean for today, we do indeed see that we didn't have much taking place at all. We do see, however, that majority of that rainfall is in the Windward Islands. And we can see it even better on the Barbados radar, with all of those blues and greens coming in from the east, northeast. Definitely affecting sections of Barbados with some isolated sprinkles here and there, some hit or miss showers for the most part. But we do see that when we zoom out, we see that sections of Tobago getting in on some of the rainfall, Grenada, the Grenadine Islands, St. Vincent, St. Lucia, sections of Martinique as well. If we take a look at the wider view of Doppler radar images, we can see some rainfall also affecting sections of the ABC Islands, not to mention sections of northern Belize, especially the Yucatan Peninsula, with all of those yellows in there. So maybe some heavy rainfall affecting those spots as well. If we take a look at the temperature forecast for tomorrow, we see those yellows and the oranges across majority of the Caribbean. That represents anywhere from 1 to 2 to even 3 degrees Celsius above normal temperatures, plaguing the Caribbean for 1 p.m. on Tuesday. As relates to the Saharan dust forecast for 2 p.m. on Tuesday, majority of the Caribbean should be in the clear, as all the browns that represent the Sahara dust should be across sections of the waters of the Eastern Main Development Region, as well as sections of Africa. As relates to the wave forecast for tomorrow, we do see that majority of the Caribbean should be plagued by purples, burgundies, reds, and all of that represents anywhere from 2 meter wave heights, 3, 4, even maybe 5 meter wave heights. And all of this is seen on both the Euro and the GFS modes, and that's due to the fact that the winds are going to be coming in from the east for the most part. And we do see those greens that represent 10 to 15 to even 20 knots, as well as the yellows and burgundies, or maybe even golds, that represent 25 to 30 knot wind. So it's definitely going to be very windy across majority of the Caribbean tomorrow as well. As relates to the rainfall forecast, we do see that majority of the rainfall should be affecting sections of the Yucatan Peninsula, the waters of the Gulf of Mexico as well. Not to mention sections of the Cayman Islands where we see those yellows, sections of eastern Cuba, northern Hispaniola, so northern Haiti and Dominican Republic getting in on some amount of rainfall. You can also see that rainfall in store for sections of Guadeloupe, Dominica, not to mention sections of that looks like Martinique, St. Lucia, St. Vincent, and the Grenadines, more so in the way of Grenada, Barbados, Trinidad, and Tobago. If they're not already receiving that rainfall right now, there's more in store. Not to mention sections of eastern Venezuela as well as northwestern Guyana. And if we take a look at the Colombia area, we do see some rainfall that's in the forecast, especially western Colombia, northwestern Panama. We're getting on some of the action as well as sections of eastern Costa Rica, eastern Nicaragua, sections of that looks like Honduras as well. And we know that when both maps from the Euro and the GFS are showing something similar like this, we know the chances of it actually happening are much higher. Alright, so that's it for today. Thanks for watching.